Folks, it never ceases to amaze me how absolutely brilliant the government is at taking my money and distributing it to people they shouldn't. It's not just the frequency with which they do it. It's not just the astonishing amount that they take from me, but it's also, dare I use the word, the diversity with which they dole it out. Truly, the redistribution of your taxes and mine is what the love child of William Shakespeare and Karl Marx, if one of them had, maybe been a birthing person and they'd crossed time to hook up, would call a consummation devoutly to be wished. The royal administration of Joe Biden is in discussions at the moment to offer, get this, $450,000 per person as compensation for immigrant families who were separated during the Trump administration. Now, I should rephrase that to be a little more accurate. The Biden administration would like to take a shitload of the money they've already stolen from you, your kids, and your grandkids, and use it to pay illegal alien families for that time when they came here illegally and had to submit to our border policies because, they were here illegally. Now, the first thing I noticed about this was that they don't seem to have any plans to pay all the families that were split up during the Obama administration, despite the fact that they were doing the same thing. Funny how that works, isn't it? This is an end run around the lawsuits many of these families are filing, claiming that they've undergone lasting psychological trauma. And for some reason, that escapes me because I try to live constantly with at least one foot firmly planted in the realm of common sense. It is now the administration's job to settle all these lawsuits out of court. And why? Well, there's the damn suspicious first reason I can think of, which is that many of them might not win the court case where the whole thing begins with. Once upon a time, I broke the American law by entering with my family illegally. Another thing that the administration would love to call attention away from is the main reasons why separations at the border exist in the first place. For one thing, it's an anti-trafficking move. Cartels frequently traffic fellow human beings by bringing them across the border, claiming that they're family. It's a safety precaution to separate them. And for all the left's talk about working to end that kind of thing, it doesn't very often put its money where its mouth is. Instead, it puts your money where someone else's mouth is. And speaking of the money, and we're talking, a likely total that's over $1 billion, how is it that the emotional tragedy of having your family separated for a while so the country you illegally entered can process you is any worse than the multifarious forms of psychological trauma we as American citizens have undergone throughout this country during COVID? Because last I checked, the government was shelling out a hell of a lot less to its own citizens for their trouble than it is to, and I repeat this because it bears repeating, people who came here illegally. It's all good, though. No, really, I figured out a loophole in the system. You see, from the left's perspective, my people came here illegally, too. So now I would like to formally request my $450,000 from the Native American Indian tribes out there whose land my progenitors so callously entered all those years ago. I'll be stopping by the reservation to pick up my check later on. Just something to think about. Love y'all. God bless.